Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Money can always be made in real estate. Now, I know that might seem basic and some people might be like, duh, but you know what? Sometimes you got to remind people, because I'm going to tell you what, even though it might seem basic, that's always a basic thing, because one of the things, people always need some place to sleep. And if you look at a lot of millionaires and indeed billionaires, they made their money through real estate. Even if you just want to invest in real estate stocks, they pay monthly. They pay monthly because people always need that land. Land is very important. Now, there's different ways you can do that. Now, I knew a couple young ladies I had dealt with in the past. What they did was they got 4-unit apartment buildings. They would live in one and then rent out the other ones. They would make some money there. And indeed, even before that, I learned about making money in real estate from my grandmother. I mean, when I was young, I thought she was rich. Because she had like several properties. In fact, even when I lived in Southeast DC, we were living in a house that my grandmother owned. And indeed, we had lived in, me, my mother, and my sister, we lived in the top part of it. In the bottom part of it, my grandmother rented it out to a tax office. And for the most part, they weren't that annoying. One time the son of the guy renting it, he did have a party down there one time. That was kind of annoying, but still. So even at a young age, I was seeing the benefits of a rental property, residential property and a commercial property. And I always said one of my goals is to eventually get some type of commercial property or something like that. That's one of my goals. Sometime in the future or something, I know I'll make some money, just have it in the right space and rent it out to the right people. Maybe like in fact, always have a vision of a whole strip mall or something like that. Like not just one property, not just one place, but like 3 or 4 stores that I'm renting out. Already thinking about who I would rent it out to and everything. But I'm gonna tell you what, money can always be made there. Indeed, I remember it was a few years ago, I went to this thing for this guy for Shark Tank, Damon John. And there was a bunch of people there and they were just talking about real estate. Indeed, sometimes people, they will buy houses and, fix them up and sell them, flip them. There's a lot of people who's made money flipping them. Now, I'm gonna tell you what though, it's not for everybody. If you do get into that business, you are gonna do some work. Because if you get a house, one, you gotta have some patience dealing with renters if you're gonna rent out property. I would personally, if I were to get houses again, I would just sell them. I wouldn't even deal with renters. Renters, they can be annoying unless you get the right one. And indeed, you can make some money with them and everything, but you still gotta get the right one. And especially nowadays, I actually have a lady friend who's an attorney who deals with people who aren't able to pay their rent. So, but somebody still wants that house. Now, if you get into sales or you get into commercial properties, that's still real estate right there. So there's many small businesses that they still need something. Yeah, there was a while there people were saying, oh no, don't get like brick and mortar businesses. It depends on where it is. And it's always a cycle with it. Like I give the example of bookstores. I remember the time people were saying, oh, bookstores were going out. Now they're starting to come back. It depends on the business that you have, what you rent out the property for. And if you can like maybe rent it out for a good restaurant or something like that, if it's a commercial property, oh, you're really doing something. But here's the bottom line with it. Real estate, real estate, real estate. Indeed, some people might just get some real estate and just sit on it. Like I've known some people who've gotten like a lot of land. I knew this lady, she actually had 72 acres of land in the state of Virginia, 72 acres. If she just sold that to like a developer or something, she makes a lot of money. Because of course the developer is going to make a lot more. You know, the developer might pay, I don't know what they did with that land because she passed away. But that was a lot of money. They could sell that, you know, to some developer for $1 million, just $1 million, mere million. Yeah, I'm saying a mere million, and then the developer makes more. Like if you got like empty land someplace, there's always somebody building. I know like in the county I live in, I can always find where they building property. You know, if anybody lives in Aberdeen, Maryland, there's a lot of stuff being built there, a lot of stuff being built. Look, but it's still real estate. And if you're even a bigger company, oh, they really be making some money. They really be making some money. And indeed, there was even a reality TV show about some real estate people down in the city of Houston, Texas. I forgot the name of it, but they were making money. There's always money to be made in real estate. It is something to take in consideration, even if you have another business. Even if you have another business, or if say you moving, say you want to move, it's not a bad thing if you don't have to sell that property. Rent it out. Rent it out. And maybe what I would suggest, maybe get somebody to manage it if you don't want to manage it yourself. Now, like I said, said earlier, the only problem is getting just the right renter. That can be a problem, but you can still check credit and all of that. Maybe get some references, make sure they working. I would highly suggest that. And you know, one of the things with renting, that could pay off a mortgage for you. That can pay the mortgage, provided you get some good renters. Or you could just sell it. You could just sell it. Now, there's always talk about bubbles and all of that, but people still need that house. People still need that house. It just depends on how much you're going to sell it for. Now, yeah, the real estate market goes up and down, but people still need some place to lay their heads. People still need some place to have their brick and mortar business. Companies still need some place they can build property on and everything, you know? But money can always be made in real estate. You know, always look into it if you can. Like I would say this, don't get into it unless you have some real patience. You still going to need some patience for it. You know, don't just get into it saying, oh, I'm going to get in there and flip this property. No, because, okay, like with flipping a property, you probably had to fix up something. You could probably buy something real cheap, something that's maybe gone through foreclosure, and then really fix it up. And I actually knew somebody who would do that. Ironically, this guy, and he had a lot of money. Ironically, he lived in a rental. He lived in an apartment. But, you know, whatever you want to do. But he had a lot of money. But remember that. Money can always be made in real estate. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.